Thank you very much for enrolling in your New Jersey dealer pre-license training course. The first thing I want to do is give you some really valuable contact information, and I want to cover all of your pre-license steps. Dealer licenses are regulated in the state of New Jersey by the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission Business Licensing Services Bureau, and that's in Trenton. And I want to give you a very valuable phone number if you have any questions. You can contact them at 609-292-6500 and then select extension 5014. And there's the website on screen as well. There's going to be a wealth of information for you. If you have any questions about starting up, or maybe you've already been a New Jersey dealer and you have some questions, that phone number is very hard to find, by the way, and it's very hard to find. A lot of phone numbers are buried in websites now where you really can't find them, but they do actually answer this phone. I've called it a couple of times, and they are very, very, very helpful. The first thing I want to do in your New Jersey dealer pre-license course is cover all of your pre-license steps extensively. We're going to cover your business location. I'm going to show you how to obtain your federal tax ID number. I'm going to show you how to file a certificate of formation authorization. I'm going to show you how to obtain a New Jersey sales tax certificate. I'm going to talk about your garage insurance, your dealer bond. I'm going to show you how to submit proof of ownership or your lease, and then we will complete your application documents as well. First of all, let's talk about your location requirements. Your office size must be at least 8 by 9 square feet, and you must have an office with a desk, chair, and a working safe to store your motor vehicle documents. And you must also have a landline telephone. So the state of New Jersey, I want you to be aware of this. They still require you have a landline telephone. So whenever you're getting ready to lease or buy or rent a building, make sure that you can get a landline telephone into that location. The state of New Jersey, I want you to be aware, they do require you have a landline, so they want to make sure your customers can get a hold of you if they got a question about a vehicle they're interested in purchasing from you, or maybe they got a question about a vehicle they've already purchased from you. So you will need to submit a copy of your phone bill. You're going to need display space for 2 or more vehicles, and leasing dealers are exempt. And I want you to be aware, there's no such thing as a wholesale dealer license in New Jersey. So I've been contacted by folks that said, well, I'm going to get a dealer's license in New Jersey and just do wholesale only. Well, you can do wholesale, but you have to get a retail license. So you need display space for 2 or more vehicles, and the display lot must be the same address as the building. Now, I get contacted all the time from folks who say that they don't want to go find a location. There are so many locations out there that can qualify for your license. I mean, you're probably not going to run this at your home. I want you to be aware of that. But with that being said, there's such an incredible profit in this industry. I strongly encourage you, if you need to go out and spend, $2 or $3 or $5 or $600 a month on a location, I mean, if you haven't made your rent back in the first sale, I mean, you are not marking your vehicles up. You should make 2 or 3 times your monthly rent on your first sale. So I'll talk about that later on. And I want you to be aware, we're going to delve into records later on in your dealer training course. Your records must be stored at your license location. So the state of New Jersey doesn't want you taking your records home at night and things like that. They want them to be in that safe, and they do not want you taking records home at night. You must keep your records at your license location. You may not share a location with another aligned business or licensed dealer. You're also going to have to submit photographs with the application. And I also want you to be aware that all retail sales activity will need to take place at your licensed location. So when you have your licensed location, you can't be selling vehicles away from your licensed location. The state law in New Jersey is very clear. All retail sales activity must take place at the licensed location. Now, you can buy vehicles anywhere. Now, when you get your New Jersey dealer license, you can buy vehicles at every dealer auction in the United States. But when you're selling a vehicle retail to a customer that doesn't have a dealer's license, that's a retail sale. That sales activity can only take place at your licensed location. I want to make sure you're very, very aware of that. Licensed dealers can also deal in mopeds and leased vehicles with no additional endorsement. I want you to also be aware the location must be zoned for a dealer's license. So how do you find this out? It's very simple. When you have a location that you're interested in using for your dealer's license, you can call your city hall, or if you're in a rural area of the state, call your county courthouse, ask for the zoning office, let them know the address of the location that you want to use, and they'll look up zoning and they'll tell you either yes or no. So you have to be zoned to have a dealer's license. Now, you're also going to submit this form right here, which is your New Jersey Dealer Municipal Approval Certificate, Form BLS 162. So I want to make sure that you're very clear. You will need to make one trip into your city hall or county courthouse and give them this document. It's BLS 162, and then they will have to sign this. And this shows the state of New Jersey that your location is zoned for a dealer's license. Please keep that in mind. I also want to talk to you about your New Jersey dealer sign requirements that are written into state law. You must have an exterior sign permanently affixed to the land or the building that's consistent with local zoning. So once again, your sign has to meet local zoning ordinances, and the lettering on that sign must be legible from the roadway. So they want you to be able to have your sign be seen from the nearest roadway. So the building has to be identified as a licensed motor vehicle dealership. Now, this sign requirement is not applicable to leasing dealers. I want you to be aware of that. And I also want you to be aware a banner is not allowed. Like if you could go out and say, for example, staple a banner onto a plywood and put that on a building, it's not going to count, okay? Banners are not considered signs. So don't go to the expense of having a banner produced and put it on plywood. That's not a permanent sign. Any sign company or digital printing company should be able to get you a sign created. Just make sure that it is following local sign ordinances, and your city hall or county courthouse should be able to assist you with that when you take in that municipal document that I showed you just a moment ago. Now, I'm going to make a very, very confident prediction here. I predict your income as a New Jersey licensed motor vehicle dealer is going to rise dramatically in the next year. There's a chance that your income could really, really go way, way up, because you're going to find out in this industry, when you buy a vehicle at a dealer auction at a very low wholesale price and you sell it to the customer in your office at a very high retail price, you're going to realize this is a very high markup industry, and I think that you're going to wish you had gotten your dealer's license many, many years ago. To show the state of New Jersey that you're going to pay income taxes on your newfound income, you need an employer identification number. And this is going to be required for most dealers. Now, there are companies that charge you several hundreds of dollars to get your EIN for you, and I'm going to show you how to do it for free. So I'm going to strongly encourage you not to pay a company to get your EIN, and there's a lot of them out there that'll charge you. So you can do it for free right on the website, or if you want to, you can do it over the phone. 800-829-4933. That does take quite a bit longer, but if you're not comfortable doing this on the website like I'm getting ready to show you here, you can go ahead and do it right on the phone number. So let's go ahead and jump onto the irs.gov website. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get your employer identification number at absolutely no charge. So when you go to irs.gov, you can scroll right down there where it says apply for employer identification number, and they're going to give you a quick review of the process, and you're just going to click begin application, and next you're going to choose your business entity. Later on in your dealer training course, we are going to cover all types of New Jersey business entities extensively. So in that module of your training course later on, you can decide if you need to be an individual or a corporation or a partnership or an LLC. It really breaks down all the benefits and disadvantages of every one of those business categories. So for this portion, let's just say as an example that you're going to be a limited liability company, an LLC. I'm not telling you that you need to be an LLC, but if you're an LLC, then you would check LLC, or if you're a sole proprietor, partnership, or corporation, you would check the corresponding business entity. Then you're going to put the number of persons on the license, and obviously you're going to be in the state of New Jersey. Click continue. The IRS wants to know why you are requesting an EIN, because you are starting a new business. So you'll select that from the link. You'll need to put the name of one person on the license along with one social security number. And then next you're going to put the address of your dealership along with your dealership phone number. And finally, you're going to put your dealership name along with the county that your dealership is in. And obviously you're in the state of New Jersey. And if you live in New Jersey, you'll select Jersey twice, okay? Now, if you're in another state and you're opening a dealership in New Jersey, then you would select your home state there. But you're being incorporated basically in the state of New Jersey. So you'll click continue, and then you just print this document. It pops up right on your screen automatically. So it's going to have your dealership name at the very, very top right of this screen. You're going to see your brand new Internal Revenue Service employer identification number. Now, there are companies that will charge you several hundreds of dollars to show you what I just showed you. I think that's 5 clicks of the mouse on the IRS website at absolutely no charge. So if you want to go pay a company to do that for you, you certainly can. But if you want to get it for free, just follow those instructions. Pretty easy to do right there at irs.gov, or you can call them directly at 800-829-4933. Now, I also want you to be aware, in order to have a New Jersey dealer license, you must obtain a New Jersey sales tax certificate of authority before you apply for your New Jersey dealer license. I want to repeat that. You must have a New Jersey sales tax certificate of authority before you apply for your New Jersey dealer license. And you're going to be able to obtain this at the New Jersey Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services, and that's going to be nj.gov/treasury/revenue, like you see right there. So you must obtain the New Jersey tax certificate. I'm going to try that one more time. In order to obtain the New Jersey sales tax certificate, you must obtain your federal tax ID number before you obtain your sales tax certificate of authority. So chronologically, you want to make sure you get your employer identification number from the IRS before you apply for your New Jersey sales tax certificate of authority. So please do keep that in mind. So I want you to also be aware there's a chronological way to do this. The first step is to file a certificate of formation or authorization. And the second step, after filing the certificate of authorization, is to file for your registration form. I want to repeat that. It's very important that you do this in the correct manner. First step, you're going to need to file certificate of formation, authorization. The second step is going to be filing your tax employer registration form. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. First of all, to get started, we're going to go to the New Jersey Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services. And you can Google New Jersey online business formation. You're going to land on the state of New Jersey's business entity filing page, as you see right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on that green Get Started button. And as a training example, I want to show you how to file as a limited liability company. And you would enter your name that you want to use for your dealership, for example, New Jersey Motors. And as you can see right here, New Jersey Motors is in conflict with another dealer name. So you cannot be New Jersey Motors. It's already taken. So you're going to have to choose a business name that's not already taken by another New Jersey dealer. So you can't be New Jersey Motors. So let's try another one. I turned in ABC Motors as an alternative here. And it says right there, congratulations, the business name ABC Motors is available. So when you find a dealership name that you want to use that's not being used by another New Jersey dealer, then you're going to select what you are called the business designator. Pretty easy to do there. And once you get on this website, it's going to walk you step by step through this whole entire process. And for this example, we're going to be applying as an LLC. Now, you can certainly seek legal advice before you decide your business entity, or make sure and watch the extensive business entity video that I've created for you at the very end of your dealer training course. Next, be sure to enter your employer identification number. It says it's optional here, but all dealers are recommended to have an EIN, and it's going to make your tax filings a lot easier. And by the way, an employer identification number is mandatory if you have employees. So please keep that in mind as well. But I always recommend grabbing the EIN because that's going to make it a lot easier at tax time. Even if you're not required to have an EIN, it's very helpful. Then you're going to enter what is called your NAICS code, which is 441120. And if you can't remember that number, it's not really important. You can just click on the NAICS code link and make sure and choose that you're going to be a used car dealer. No matter what used motor vehicle that you're going to be selling, enter that you're going to be a used car dealer. Even if you're selling other vehicles, that will drop down the NAICS code automatically. And this will ensure the sales tax you collected is vented through the proper channels to the state. So please keep that in mind. On this screen, you're going to need to enter what's known as your business purpose, which is going to be the sale of used motor vehicles. So you need to let the state know exactly what you're doing here. You're going to enter your business address. Next, you will need what's called a registered agent. If you live in the state of New Jersey, you can act as your own registered agent. But if you live in another state, you need to have a New Jersey registered agent. If you need a registered agent, just Google New Jersey registered agent. But if you live in the state of New Jersey, you can easily act as your own registered agent. Then you're going to enter your registered agent information here, whether it's you or another registered agent company. And now you're going to enter your what's called your members or managers. If you're filing as an LLC, your members or managers can be the persons whose names appear on the LLC. So you would need to click on the green Add New Member button. This is a complicated part of this little website here. You have to add a new member. So please click that green Add New Member button. Then you add the member, and this could be you. And if you have partners that will be on the dealer license, you'll need to enter their names as well. So make sure every person whose name's on the license is entered correctly. Now you're going to see that you have added yourself as a member or manager of the LLC. So be sure to enter all persons whose names are on that LLC and the dealer's license as well. Here you can add provisions if needed. These are documents that describe the LLC functions if you need those. And then you'll need to enter yourself or another person as the official signer. So you can just enter yourself if that's more convenient for you. Be sure to click on the small box that you see here that verifies that you're the official signer. Be sure all the contact information is correct. On this page, you're going to see your official filing fees that you must pay for the business registration. And those fees could have changed by the time that you're watching this video, so they could be a little bit different than that. Then you're taken to the official payment portal for the state of New Jersey, so you can just enter your payment information. And once you've paid for your business registration, you're going to get a confirmation that your payment was received, as you see here. And a split second later, your official New Jersey corporation's filing document will appear on the screen. And a very important number is what's called your corporation entity ID that you see at the very top right of this document. Be sure to record this very important entity ID number that must be included when you're actually applying for your tax registration in just a few moments. Remember that chronological list we talked about? Please make a very important note of this important number. It's called your entity ID number. Now that we've completed that step, I'm going to show you how to get your required New Jersey tax certificate of authority. It's very important that you do this in the correct chronological order. So as I stated a moment ago, you must file your certificate of formation like I showed you first, and then you will file the tax employer registration form. So once again, file your certificate of formation like I showed you, then file the tax employer registration form, which I'm going to show you how to do right now. To get started, you're going to go to njportal.com/DOR/business registration, or once again, just Google New Jersey Online Business and Employer Registration, as you see right there. And you can go ahead and click on the Get Started button like we did just a few moments ago. But remember, we were doing the business registration a few moments ago. Now we're getting our employer registration to get our tax ID number. And this screen, you will click this says right here that says Start Registration as a Business Entity. So you've already filed as a business entity. Now you'll enter that entity ID number that I showed you on your corporation filing document just a few moments ago. So remember that number. We needed to record that, and you're going to enter your entity ID number as you see here. And then at the bottom, you're going to enter your employer identification number. So it's pretty simple there. After you've completed the forms and correctly submitted them, then your New Jersey Certificate of Authority will just pop up on the screen automatically, and it's going to look very, very similar to this. So remember, the first step, you're going to file certificate of formation, and then you file your tax employer registration form. And this form right here is going to allow you to legally charge sales tax when you're selling motor vehicles. And I'm going to cover that process extensively, step by step, screenshot by screenshot, later on in your dealer training course. So once you have gotten that, you're also going to get this document that you see right here, and this is your corporation ID document. So you'll easily be able to apply for your certificate of authority, and all the paperwork will be completed correctly for you. Next, I want to talk about your required dealer insurance. The state of New Jersey requires every motor vehicle driven on any roadway to be insured, including the vehicles that you own, and may allow your customers to test drive. I want to make sure you're very clear. You must obtain your dealer insurance before you apply for your dealer license. Any dealer that does not maintain financial responsibility could face financial penalties, including possible license revocation. So your insurance has to be in effect before you apply for your dealer's license. And I want you to be aware there are a couple of different types of insurance categories that you need to be aware of as a licensed motor vehicle dealer. First of all, there's what we call dealer garage liability. Dealer garage liability will be the minimum amount of insurance that you need in order to be issued a New Jersey dealer license. And dealer liability is just like liability on your car. If you think about this scenario, in a very, very rare situation where one of your customers wrecks one of your demos into another vehicle, it's going to fix the other vehicle. It'll never fix your property because it's dealer liability. It's the least expensive insurance but it also gives you the least amount of coverage, and it will be the minimum amount that you'll need in order to be issued your New Jersey dealer license. There's also what we call dealer's open lot, and I recommend this. Now, if you think about this, you might think of it as full coverage, but it's not really called full coverage. We call it dealer's open lot. Dealer's open lot does not cover like a specific amount of vehicles. It's going to cover a dollar amount. So let's say you've built up $50,000 worth of inventory. You need $50,000 worth of open lot coverage because, we live in a state with hail. I mean, there's tornadoes and hurricanes that have hit the States, so you want to make sure that you don't ever lose your entire inventory. I've read situations where dealers would have come in and someone has broken into their office and stole all the keys out of their office and stole multiple cars off of lot in one night. So as you're building up inventory, make sure you're building up your coverage as well. You don't want to go into financial ruin because you lost your inventory in some overnight storm. Garage keepers, if you have a garage and you keep customers' vehicles overnight to repair and things like that, you would need garage keepers. So an easy way to remember this, if you keep a garage, you need garage keepers. Errors and omissions covers you if you make mistakes on paperwork. Employment practices would cover you if you had employees and maybe you were paying an incorrect wage or something like that. Workers' compensation is required when you have employees. And then false pretense insurance would cover you if somebody purchased a vehicle from you under false pretense. Like let's say, for example, I come into your dealership and I buy a vehicle and I used a stolen ID. I bought a vehicle under false pretense. So you can certainly talk to your insurance agent about that. Now, with that being said, at bare bones minimum, you must have garage liability coverage with the policy number. Your basic automobile liability policy is not accepted to get a dealer's license. You must have what's called a garage liability policy. Now, you don't have to have a garage. That's just what they call business insurance. They call it garage insurance. So you can't use your personal insurance. You must have a garage policy, and the location must be listed on the address correctly. So make sure the address of your bond, insurance, and license all match. You're going to need to specify the total number of plates that are covered by your policy, and the policy must be in full effect before you apply for your New Jersey dealer's license. Now, here's the minimum coverages. Your insurance agent is going to ask you what the minimum coverages are. If you want the minimum coverages, please let your insurance agent know that you need $100,000 per person and incident, up to $25,000 per incident for bodily injury or death, and $25,000 per incident property damage, and $250 combined. So you might tell your insurance agent that you need a $125,250 policy, and it also has have what's called a 30-day cancellation notice. Okay. Now here's another very important bit of information. Your insurance agent is going to ask you who the certificate holder is, and it's very clear. State law says the certificate holder must be the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. I want to repeat that very important information. Your insurance agent will ask you who is the certificate holder. You're not the certificate holder. The certificate holder must be the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. And on this screen, you're going to see what is known as your Accord 25 form that's going to be provided from your insurance agent after your policy is in complete effect. And as you see here at the very bottom left side of the screen, the certificate holder must be the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. So be sure that the certificate holder is listed correctly. Otherwise, your New Jersey dealer license will not be approved. So how much is your insurance going to cost you? Well, there are basically 4 factors that affect New Jersey dealer insurance pricing. Number 1 is going to be your personal driving record. If you have a great driving record, your insurance is going to be cheaper. If you have a horrendous driving record, then your insurance will be higher. It's also based on dealership ownership experience. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but since you probably have less than 3 years of ownership experience, you are going to pay the higher rates. But once you have 3 years of experience under your belt, there are many other companies that'll insure you. At that time, you should see a dramatic reduction in your policy pricing. But I want to make sure you're aware, your first 3 years in business, you do pay the highest rates, then those rates should go down. Your insurance pricing is also based on your geographic area. So as with any insurance policy, the closer you get to a downtown urban core, the higher the rates go up. The more that you get into a rural suburban area, those rates are going to go down. It's also going to be based on the number of dealer license plates. I always recommend that you operate with the least number of dealer plates that you possibly can by law, and that will actually keep your rates down a little bit. So where are you going to get a quote? Well, you can contact your current insurance agent. You can ask other dealers or do a quick internet search. I mean, if you take a look here, if you Google New Jersey dealer insurance, you're going to see several companies that want to earn your business. And I strongly encourage you to get at least 2 quotes, because what I have found here, you might find one insurance agent on one side of the street that's asking $600 a year for a New Jersey dealer policy, and the insurance agent right across the street from her is asking $5,000 a year for the identical coverage. So I strongly encourage you to get at least 2 quotes, and you've got to have that insurance policy in effect, and make sure you have your accord form. And most insurance companies will allow you to make payments. So if you're looking to get into the industry at minimal cost, you should be able to make payments on that policy if that's convenient for you. Next, I want to talk about your next requirement, which is called a dealer surety bond. Now, a lot of folks mix up a dealer surety bond with your insurance, but a dealer surety bond is quite different, okay? You need to obtain a minimum $10,000 dealer surety bond. Now, is that going to cost you $10,000? No, not at all. It is based on your credit score. Okay, so I want you to be aware, with good credit, a $10,000 bond is going to be very minimal cost. I think probably around $100 to maybe $200 a year. If you have a couple blemishes on your credit score, that price can go up. But I want to also make sure when you're getting your bond may not expire until March 31st of the year that your license is set to expire. It must match your business name exactly, and you're also going to submit what's called your power of attorney. Now, I want you to be aware, the association has set up a very convenient bond quoting system, if this is helpful for you. And what this system does, it will take your credit score and will match it with one of over 30 bond carriers that is set up for your credit score. So no matter your credit, it'll automatically send you to the correct bond carrier that's based on your credit score. And I think this will help you get one of the cheapest bonds in the industry. So if you want to, you can get that bond quote right now. You can go to dealerslicense.com. You're going to scroll right down there to where it says New Jersey $10,000 motor vehicle dealer bond, and you'll click that little blue link there. And I want to give you the heads up, it takes several seconds for this bond quoting system to load. So when you click that blue button there, you're going to wait quite a few moments there. Please do be patient, and then the bond quoting system loads automatically. You'll just need to state that yes, you need the New Jersey dealer bond there. You can type in the dealership name that you plan on using, and then you're going to select your business entity. So make sure and select that accordingly. And you must select new business because you're not currently licensed dealer, I'm assuming. You'll need your phone number and email address and name once again, and then the address of your location. And finally, you will need to enter your Social Security number because this is based on your credit score, and this system will do a very soft credit check. It does not affect your credit score to get a quote. I want you to be aware of that. And if you like the quote that you see, you can go ahead and purchase that bond right there on the website. And I want you to be aware, a bond is just a 2-page form. Okay, it's a 2-page form. So this is the first page right here. And what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to sign it, and then you need to have a witness sign it as well. This does not have to be notarized, but someone has to watch you sign the bond, and then they sign the bond as the witness. Once again, it does not have to be notarized. You just have to have someone sign it stating they saw you sign the bond. And then the second page of the bond is what's called your bond power of attorney, which is going to be pre-signed by the bonding company and will pop up on your screen. I want to make sure you're very aware you must include this second page, which is the power of attorney with your bond. A very common mistake is a dealer applicant submits the bond but does not submit the attached power of attorney. So that would really hold up your New Jersey dealer license approval. So be sure to submit both the bond and your power of attorney when you're applying for your New Jersey dealer license. So once again, you can get a very competitive bond quote at dealerslicense.com. Just click on the bonds link at the top of any page and then scroll down where it says free New Jersey dealer surety bond quote. I want you to be aware it takes just a few moments for that system to load. So hopefully that'll help you get the cheapest bond possible when you're obtaining your New Jersey dealer license. Next, you must submit ownership or lease documents. So you must submit a copy of the deed, the lease, or the purchase agreement for the premises that you're going to hold your license at. And as I stated earlier, that location must be zoned for a dealer's license. If you are leasing the vehicle, the lease agreement must be signed for a minimum of 12 months, and must extend through the date that the license is set to expire. A month-to-month lease is not permitted to have a New Jersey dealer's license. So you need to have a minimum of 12 months. There are some companies that will allow you to do a lease and break the lease if for some reason you are not approved for your license, which is very rare, by the way. So, but make sure, I want you to be aware you can't submit a month-to-month lease. It has to be a 12-month lease. So please be aware of that. And hopefully you'll deal with the company, and for some reason you're not approved, that they'll let you out of that lease. Renewing your dealer license. The dealer renewal commences on February 1st and ends on March 31st every year. So when you get your dealer's license, the renewal period starts on February 1st, and you must renew before March 31st every single year. And I want you to be aware your dealer bond and your insurance may never expire during your licensure year. Dealers in the state of New Jersey must be bonded and insured your entire licensure period. You can never let your bond or your insurance expire. If you have any questions whatsoever regarding dealer license or the dealer license application process, you can contact the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission Licensing Bureau. That's 609-292-6500, and then click extension 5014. As I stated, this phone number is kind of a secret because it took me a long time of a lot of research to find that exact phone number. But when I called it, they answered it, and they were very helpful. But it can really be hard to find a dealer licensing bureau's phone number. They don't post those very much anymore. So please do keep this in mind. In the next portion of your course, we're going to cover several dealer training modules like this one. I'm going to show you how to submit your application correctly. We're going to do what's called the deal, where I'm going to take a screenshot by screenshot, where we're going to buy a vehicle, we're going to mark it up as high as we can for a profit, and then resell the vehicle. And part of that is going to be the very, very easy collection of New Jersey sales tax, okay? Show you extensively how to get the New Jersey sales tax license. I'm going to show you also New Jersey dealer document fees. So you can legally charge document fees once you get your dealer's license, but you want to make sure you never charge more than what's allowed, because that's very bad and you get extensive fines or even get your dealer license suspended or revoked. So in a later training unit, I'm going to show you how to legally charge dealer document fees. I'm going to show you how to legally use your New Jersey dealer plates. So if you're not using your dealer plates correctly, they'll take that license away. I'm also going to show you later on in your dealer training course how to issue New Jersey temporary tags. I'm going to show you how to maintain your records. I'm also going to talk about license suspensions. So I'll show you exactly what can get your New Jersey dealer license suspended. And I always say that the state of New Jersey they giveth, and the state of New Jersey can taketh away. So you want to make sure you don't do anything that can get your license suspended. Also later on, if you do give us the opportunity to serve as your New Jersey dealer license training partner, I'm going to cover software programs that I've been using that will do all the financing and every single bit of paperwork for you. We're going to delve into vehicle history reports that shows you how to buy a vehicle correctly, because you don't want to ever buy a vehicle from an individual or take a trade-in without running a vehicle history report. I'll show you how to do that to ensure that you're never buying a vehicle that's had the odometer altered or maybe a vehicle that's been stolen. I'm also going to show you proven dealer negotiation techniques so you can get the absolute top dollar for every single vehicle that you're selling. I'm going to show you how to sell profitable aftermarket products. I'm going to show you how to advertise legally. I'm going to show you how to export vehicles to other countries. I'm going to show you how to get a floor plan. It says floor plant on your screen, a mistake there, but it's called a floor plan. That's a loan for your inventory. I'm going to show you how to get guaranteed loans from the federal government. I'm also going to show you how to start a very, very profitable buy here, pay here dealership, and I'll show you how to get a loan for every single one of your customers. Whether you use a third-party company or if you want to finance your own vehicles, I will show you exactly how to do that. If you've not already done so, you can view all the other training modules at dealercourse.com. Once again, that is dealercourse.com. And I really appreciate you allowing us, the Automobile Dealer Training Association, to serve as your New Jersey dealer license training partner. Thank you very much, and I hope you will invest in the rest of the course, and I think you'll be very happy that you're getting into this business. Thank you very much.